Hey guys, Dr. Bergman here again at Rosemary Jones Chiropractic. This week's video we're going to talk about the proper ways to lift and how to lift with your legs instead of lifting with your back. So it seems pretty obvious when people say, well, you should lift with your legs or lift with your knees instead of your back. Well, yeah, no kidding, that's what you should do, but a lot of times people still do it improperly even though they think they're doing it right. So this week's video will show you how to do that and how to do some, training things at home to try to prevent you from lifting with your back instead of your legs. So the first thing I'll show you here is if you got anything at home, a broomstick, this is just an old light bulb from the office here. So what we want to do is I'll turn to the side here. We want to stand with this straight against our spine and against the back of our head. So we've got a straight line here. Now when we start to bend, or when we start to bend the knees, we don't want this light bulb or broomstick to come away from any point in our body. So you can see my hips are hinging backwards and I'm not rounding from the back. So when I start to bend, I'm coming straight down and straight back up. There's no arching in my back. So a lot of times the common mistake is people will go down this way, but they start to lean forward as they reach for something. So that's not the way you want to do it. That's rounding your back when you lift. So yes, you're bending your knees, but you're also rounding your back. So when you bend forward, you want to hinge at the hips and squat at the knees, so that way you're straight up and down. Now when you lift, you're using your strong muscles. The muscles of your legs are basically a jack or a pump that are going to pump you or lift you back up while you're holding something. So when I go down to lift this heavy tub off the floor, if I bend forward like this and round my back, for me to stand back up, the muscles of my low back have to pretty much do all the work. My hip flexors are engaged, my back muscles are working very hard, and that's commonly how people get injured, is to just keep the legs straight and lift straight up from here. Now I'd have a hard time lifting this tub, it's pretty heavy, without bending my knees. So another wrong way is if you still bend the knees but you squat forward like this. You're basically doing the exact same thing because you're rounding your back. So what you want to do the proper way is to keep your back straight, bend straight down, lift the tub, and use your leg muscles to bring you straight back up. Now when you lift, you want to keep whatever you're lifting as close to your body as you possibly can. So the further it is away from your body, the heavier it seems. So a lot of times people will lift something and they reach to put it somewhere, or they lift something off a shelf and it's far away from their body to begin with, and that's when they feel the strain as well. So if you can lift, keep it as close to your body as you can, move with it, and then put it onto the shelf instead of reaching to put it away. That's a good way that you can prevent injuring your low back. So try those tips with the broomstick on the back, flex to make sure that you're not rounding your back, and then practice something at home, picking something up and seeing how that feels. I think you'll notice that it's a lot easier to pick up things, and it's a good way to prevent a low back injury.